Well, I'm Wendy Jones and I've written this book here. It's coming out the 9th of February 2012 and it's called The Thoughts and Happenings of Wilfred Price, Purveyor of Superior Funerals. And it's a novel about an undertaker called Wilfred Price in 1924 in Narberth, which is a real town, a very, very small town in West Wales in Pembrokeshire. And the story's about Undertaker, a young man after the First World War, who goes to a picnic and inadvertently, without any thought, overly spontaneously, proposes to the doctor's daughter, Grace. And he realises he's immediately made a mistake and he wants to extricate himself from this. And he does. Not to let too much on, but there's another woman called Flora McFanway, and with her he has a connection. A very deep, profound connection. And it's what happens when you are something, you do something, and the repercussions of that. So some of the themes are what it is to connect with someone, and where do you put your loyalty? It's also about a small town, and it's about death. He buries lots of people around him die. It's not one of those gothic novels where the Undertaker's murdering people and fancying them, and it's not like that at all. He buries people, it's all about the funerals he does, and all about the life of the small town around him. Well, when I was growing up, I spent a lot of time in Narberth, and my uncle, well, my godmother's husband, was the Undertaker, and he was called Wilfred Price. And while there was someone called Wilfred Price, and he did live in Narberth, he was the Undertaker, everything else is completely made up. And as a child I used to play in the workshop, which I didn't realise was where, with all the coffins and the tools and the sawdust, and I would spend the afternoon very happily, sawing up bits of wood and looking in paint pots and climbing on the coffins and going through the cupboards. And the front room was a paint and wallpaper shop, and I would play paint and wallpaper shops all afternoon with stamping things and showing imaginary customers wallpaper and advising imaginary customers on paints and opening and closing the till. And anyway, it had all gone in and I'd forgotten all about it. And one day a friend said to me, "Why don't you write a novel?" And I thought, no, I kind of like non-fiction. I studied non-fiction and the world is so interesting. Why would I create any other kind of world? I'm so interested in what's real. There's so much there to look at now. And then but she said, "Why didn't you write a novel?" And that night I woke up in the middle of the night and started writing a novel, and I got so engaged in this parallel world that I was writing all the time. I just got deeper and deeper and more involved in it. So inadvertently, to my own surprise and slightly to my own disbelief, I've written a novel. It's very exciting, but it's being published, having my novel published is very exciting, but also quite shocking, because something that I saw inside my own mind and came out of my own interiority and sat around in my pyjamas writing at home in a tatty old manuscript, then suddenly it's out there and exists and it gets shipped to Australia or translated into Norwegian, and that's very shocking that something so internal to me should exist in different countries or in different languages or in different places. So I've shocked myself really. A joke. I have a joke. I think I'm the only person who finds it funny, but I find it particularly funny. What's blue and white and sits up trees? A fridge with jeans on.